Anyway, I went to my father's home, and then I found that nearly everybody that met me give me a red packet.
Did it have money inside?
Yes, and when it was late and I had to go to bed, I found that my pocket was stuffed with money.
Well, that's a nice thing to find out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, are you looking forward to the new year, Erin?
Yes.
Okay.
My friends left just today, and they are going to their own to their father's home and driving a car.
Okay. So when we talk about going back to their father's place, we'll just say their hometowns, where they're from. So, will you travel, Erin?
Sometimes we will travel and take pretty pictures.
Are you traveling for the new year, Elim Shay? Are you going to another city or staying home?
Staying.
Staying.
Staying my home. Oh, no. I will go to my grandma's home, but now I am in my home.
Okay, you will go, but okay. Well, we got a late start and I have a class after. I know Elim Fong is not coming. I don't know about Joshua, but I'm recording and we're going to go ahead and start. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to think back to when we started lessons. We are in chapter 12. This was from chapter 4. We talked about plants. We talked about 3 parts of plants. What are they?
Leaves, stems, roots.
Okay. There are more parts to a plant, but we've talked about those 3. So, Erin, you tell me, what do roots do?
Roots take in water for the plant.
Okay. What do stems do, Erin?
Stems carry water from the roots to the leaves. They also carry food from the leaves to the roots.
Okay, so stems are things that are carrying things to other parts of the plants. And then we talked about leaves. Elim Shay, what do leaves do?
Leaves make food for the plant. This is called
photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis.
Good job. So when God made beautiful plants, all of these plants all of the parts of them have a job to do, have a purpose. We have a job to do, right? We have jobs to do. Yes? Yeah. So when God makes things, it has a job. So we're going to learn about 3 more parts of a plant today and what their jobs are. So look, we've talked about roots, leaves, and stems. So that leaves us 3 more parts of the plant we're going to talk about today. What are they?
The flower, seeds.
The flower, the fruits, and the seeds. And what do these three parts, they sort of work together. And what do they do, Aaron?
Well, I think they make new plants.
Ha
Will grow. The
Yeah.
seed will grow.
Yeah.
But teacher, I have a question. But if there was an apple tree and then an apple seed was hiding in an apple and then the animal eats the apple and then the seed won't grow. The seed will not grow inside the animal.
No, it won't grow inside the animal. Not until the animal poops it out, right?
Oh, that is.
Well, that's
Then-
what happens, right?
Yeah.
And then when that happens, then it can start to grow. It won't grow inside. We joke. Do you joke in China? I know I used to tell my children when they ate watermelon, because you eat watermelon seeds sometimes, right? When you're
Yeah.
eating, we'd be like, oh, you're going to get a big belly with a big watermelon in your belly. You're not gonna. It's just funny to think about. Yeah, Aaron.
My friends always said, if you eat a watermelon seed and then you must swallow some earth and gobble some water and open your mouth so the sun could get into it and then it will grow. And it will grow and grow through your mouth.
Oh, yeah. That wouldn't be good. Of course, then who wants to eat all that dirt and that soil to plant the seed?
Yeah.
So let's look at these three parts. We're going to talk about them twice. First, just to see how do they grow new plants. So look at the flower. We have like a strawberry flower. This is a good example. What do flowers do?
Into fruit.
That's right. Often this middle part of a flower is going to grow and become the fruit, and then these will just sort of fall off. This happens a lot. And then the fruit itself, what do fruits have?
Oh, looks delicious.
What do fruits have?
Seeds.
Fruits have seeds. And sometimes we eat the seeds, don't we? Do you ever eat fruit seeds? We talked about watermelons. Maybe we don't mean to. Yeah, Aaron?
But what about bananas? I don't see seeds in bananas.
No, we don't see seeds in all of the fruits, do we?
Yeah.
Look, this is one of my favorite fruits. It's not a great picture of it. Can you see it down here?
Yes, I like it.
Do you know what that is?
Yes, a pomegranate.
Pomegranates. What part of the pomegranates do we eat? Do we eat the fruits or the seeds?
And the seed.
We eat the seeds. We call it a fruit because it is, but when we eat it, we're eating the seeds, the yummy part. Yeah,
But teacher, I don't like it. This food seed.
You don't like to eat pomegranate seeds?
Yes.
I love seeds, pomegranate seeds.
I like them too. So sometimes we eat the seeds, but fruits have seeds. And then, well, seeds, you know what seeds do, don't you?
I know.
Grow.
Quickly.
They're gonna.
So quickly.
They're gonna. Yeah. Do they grow this quickly?
So quick. They're quick.
So, so let's go back and let's look at each one of these things.
Huh?
We got a really big long word we're gonna look at. We'll look at that in a second. Let me hold on. Go to, what part of the plant do you see here?
I see flowers.
The flowers, right? Now, flowers have another part. What do we call these things?
They're petals.
Petals.
Petals. Petals are what make the flowers so pretty, aren't they?
Yes.
What
If
are
you pick up all the petals, they look not pretty.
That's true. They're just left with not much of anything pretty. So why do the petals make the flower pretty?
Because they're colorful.
The color makes them pretty, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How do petals feel?
They feel soft.
They do. They feel soft. Now, Elim Shay, have you ever sat and counted the number of petals on a flower?
Sometimes I will.
Okay. Sometimes we'll take certain flowers and we can just pick them off, and it's just fun. We just sit and then we're left, like Aaron said, with a very not pretty stem and no flower. But God is a God of order, and everything has an order, and he makes things, and when we study the things that God has made, there's this pattern that we normally see. Now, when I say pattern, do you know what I mean by pattern? Elim Shay, do you know what I mean by pattern? And Aaron, you do too? So here's just a pattern. If I did, this could be a pattern. What would come next in my pattern?
It will be a square.
It would be a square. And then Elim Shay, what would come next?
Star.
A star. So that's a pattern. It's a way that things happen. It happens in a certain order. Flower petals are like that. And I'm going to teach you a really big word that you might not remember, but I want you to remember the idea to this word, okay? Let me go back. Here's the word. The word is Fibonacci. Say it with me. Fibonacci.
Fibonacci.
That's this word. This is how we spell it. Fibonacci.
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 Now, do you like math? Oh, that was a quick no from Aaron. Elim Shay, do you like math?
What math?
Like 1 + 1 = 2. 2 + 1 equals. Oh, you don't like math either. Okay. This is easy math, I tell you. Okay? For Fibonacci, and I'll tell you how this has to do with plants in a minute. Look at what we start with. Aaron, how do you read this?
1 + 1 = 2.
Okay, so then we look at those numbers and we add the 1 and the 2 together and we get
3.
And then we're going to add the number that we just had and the 3, and we're going to get 2 + 3 is
5.
Okay. And then we're going to say
5 and
5 + 3 make
8.
And then we're going to say 5 plus 8 make
13.
13.
8 plus 13 equals
21.
1.
13 plus 21 equals
34.
21 plus 34 equals
55.
we could keep going. 34 plus 55 equals
79. Oh, no, 89.
89. And we could keep going. So you see how we add two numbers together and then we add them together and we add them together. And we call this the what?
Fibonacci.
No. This is na.
Fibonacci.
That's right. And see how na is written in big letters? That's because we hit that sound harder. Fibonacci.
Fibonacci.
There we go.
Fibonacci.
So we add that. Now, what does this have to do with plants? We were talking about science and plants. Why am I now bringing in math? Look at petals. Look how our petals grow. Our petals grow. Sometimes there's one petal. Sometimes there's
Two.
sometimes there's
3 petals.
3 petals.
sometimes there's
5
5
petals.
petals.
Are there 4 petals?
normally when there are 4 petals, we're normally saying there's a group of 2 and a group of 2, which make 4. So there can be 4 petals, but only because there's a group of 2 and a group of 2.
There were no flower that its own had 2 petals, had 4 petals.
There are some. There are flowers that you'll find that have 4 petals. But that's because for Fibonacci, we would say, oh, they have 2 groups of 2 flowers. And then that keeps it with that Fibonacci sequence. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. Does that make sense? And then
Yeah.
sometimes, just like everything, there are exceptions. There are things that don't follow rules. We make rules. God sometimes doesn't work by our rules, does he? He has his own rules. But then you can see some petals are going to have, or some flowers are going to have 8.
Yeah.
Or 13, or 21, or 30. So there might get to be a flower that has more petals than you want to count because it's going to get up to 55 or,
Or 100.
89 or more than 100. So
What?
that would be fun this week. If you see any flowers, to see how many petals are on your flower, count them, and we'll see. Maybe if I see any flowers on a walk today, maybe I'll stop and I'll count them and we'll see how many we can find. Yeah, Erin.
We didn't have that flowers in our place. We only have small flowers. And they're not, and now they're not flowers because it was still very cold.
It is. Winter's not a good time for flowers. It's starting to, some of the flowers around here are starting to bud. And so I can find a few where I live.
But I know where I could find some. I could find some false ones.
Some fake flowers?
Yes, in the market.
Okay.
I've seen some.
I don't know. I need to count. Like here's a flower and it's
So many.
from like it's not a real flower, but it's like a real dahlia. So I should count how many and see if it follows the Fibonacci. I don't know. I didn't do that yet. All right. So petals and flowers are going to grow what? What did we say? Fruit. That grows fruit. Now, fruits. We can talk about fruits from there are two different kinds of fruits. One of them we call
Dry fruit.
dry fruits. Now look, these are examples of dry fruits. They're not all of them. What are some dry fruits that you eat or you know about, Elim Shay? Look on here. Do you know any of these?
Let me see.
Say.
See one. I don't know. No, it's not.
I like coconut.
Mhm.
Aaron, what do you know about or like?
I like dry grapes. And then I like dry lemons.
Ooh, so sometimes we'll take fruit and we try it ourselves, right? That's what raisins are. Because what are raisins? What kind of fruit are raisins? Raisins are actually what?
Grapes.
They're grapes
Grapes.
we dry. So they become dry because we decide to make them dry. If they're not dry, we normally call them juicy. Sometimes you're going to see this word or fleshy. Fleshy. Fleshy just means that they have this soft part to them. Now, are all pears juicy? Do they drip juice when you eat them?
Some do.
Some do, but do all of them?
No, but strawberries drip a lot.
They-
And watermelon too.
Yeah, they drip a lot, so they're definitely juicy. But the other ones still have parts that you can bite and chew, right? Even if they're not dripping juice. So we call them sometimes fleshy. Fleshy, because it gives you something to bite. It's more than just a seed. So we have juicy fruits or fleshy and dry fruits. All right.
Bang, bang.
And we're not going to have time for the next talking about seeds. We will get into seeds. But let's look then at a Bible verse. It's in our book. Let me go up. Maybe hold on.
Oh,
I'm gonna make it bigger so I can work with it better. All right.
I bumped my nose.
Ouch. All right. Nope, not that.
No.
There's a lot of Bible verses that talk about fruit and food, but I wanted the one from Genesis. Where is there it is, Genesis 1:11. Elim Shay, will you read it?
Okay. And God said, let the
Earth
earth bring forth the fruit tree
yielding.
yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is
itself.
itself opened and opened the earth, and it was so. Genesis 1:11.
11. So when God made the earth and he made a tree, does he have to make a tree again and again? How does he make a tree again?
They each have seeds and fruits.
So it's going to keep going. So he doesn't have to make a brand new tree every day. He makes it so the trees will grow. And that's what we're doing. All right. Happy New Year. 新年快乐. Have a great time. I will not see you next week, but I'll see you, I think, in 2 weeks, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Bye
Bye, Aaron. Bye, Aaron.
Bye bye.
bye.